That's what I believe the science, Paul.
Yeah, Luke believes the science community.
Believe the science.
All right.
Welcome to Intellectual Dummies. It is This Week in Politics, September 5th, 2025. We are here in our new newsroom that Paul created for us.
You're welcome.
I'm your co-host, Luke. I'm your host, Luke. This is my co-host, Paul. And if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think about all this stuff that's going on. We got JFK.
RFK.
JFK, RFK, and I'm leaving this in. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, leave it in. It's great.
And what's going on with freedom of speech in Britain? Wild shit. So let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. This is we're going to start Mark Warner and RFK yell over each other about COVID deaths and vaccines during a continuous hearing. During the Senate Financial Committee hearing on Thursday, Senator Mark Warner, a Democrat, accused Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. of not knowing how many people died from COVID or whether COVID-19 vaccines worked. So this is a Democrat that believes COVID was real and the vaccines worked, long story short. And here he is trying to make RFKJ look like a bad guy.
Yeah.
Policy for customers. So maybe we'll lower the temperature a little bit. I got a bipartisan bill that would be a systemic fix, not a vote buying mechanism when Medicaid's getting cut, what was put in on the rural hospitals. One of the things we could do, Mr. Secretary, is make sure that the folks who work in rural hospitals get an 80% reimbursement of what folks get in more urban centers. Would you support that legislation?
Are you talking about the area wage index?
I'm talking about the area wage index and moving that up to 80%. So there is actually ability to get rural providers.
President Trump supports that, and we support.
You support. Good. So you will work with us to get that passed.
Yes.
That will increase costs on both Medicaid and Medicare. So
I think he was hoping he'd say no.
RFK looks like a fucking reptilian.
I know, I in a way I feel bad for him because he has to just breathe like that and sound like that and look like he's ready to pop.
Dude, he's been baking in the fucking sun.
Yeah, it's rough.
We're committed to that. I appreciate that. What about Senator Wyden and I've got a bill because across America.
I'd be like, why do you have to yell at me? You're speaking into a microphone.
Yeah.
What about what?
Hospitals are shutting down on their OBGYN services. Try to have a baby. I don't know about all of my other friend states, but in Southside Virginia, you can't find a hospital. Will you work with us to make sure that before OBGYN services are taken out of a rural hospital, there has to be a process and procedure?
I'm happy to work with you on that, Senator, meet with you and see if we can work with you on it. I don't know exactly what the issue is.
Well, again, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, who has said he doesn't know how many people died from COVID, doesn't know if the vaccine saved lives, doesn't understand the issue that OBGYN doctors are fleeing rural America because they can't afford it. And with the cuts that are coming up, it's going to be exponentially worse. I would invite you, sir, to come with me to a community health center in Virginia and hear what is on people's mind. They want to get healthier? Absolutely. Count me in. But they also don't want their basic health care removed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You know, these people too that they say like, oh, they don't want their basic health care removed. When you see them, they're like fat slobs.
Yeah.
They're not like fucking these people who are really in need of health care. And what's pretty messed up is that a lot of these people that they're talking about that got that lost their health care or are getting their funds cut are people who don't, usually they're illegals that are getting it, first of all. They just say people, they're not saying illegals. And secondly, they're people who are taking advantage of the system.
Yeah, I mean, for one, to the illegals point, that only drives up the cost of healthcare that's already absurdly expensive. And Democrats helped, assisted, incentivized probably like another 10 million illegals into our country over the last 4 years. So, But as far as the death numbers on COVID, we're not going to have an accurate number until all the data is sifted through, and who knows how long that's going to take. So, for instance, when COVID was happening, hospitals were getting reimbursed for COVID patients. They were getting extra money for COVID patients, right? COVID deaths and things like that. So the numbers were inflated. Like you got, there was cases where someone died in a car accident and they COVID tested the body and it turns out the guy had COVID. That counted as a COVID death.
Yes.
And they were getting money for every COVID case that came through the hospital. So we're really not going to know for probably a little while the real ballpark number of how many people actually died, because that guy in the car accident, that counted as a COVID death.
Yes, and that's a fact that they did that.
I think during this time, during the COVID years, I think Colorado started filtering that out. Like, okay, this doesn't count, and COVID deaths fell by 40%.
Wow.
So I mean, we're not going to. I mean, the fact that RFK allegedly doesn't know how many deaths. No, nobody knows the accurate.
Nobody really knows the real number exactly.
And the vaccine wasn't a vaccine. Like, it's important that we use the right words when we talk about things. This is something that Orwell was big on, Malcolm X was big on, was when you speak, use the right words. It wasn't a vaccine. A vaccine has a very specific definition, and it immunizes you from whatever the thing is that you're getting vaccinated from. Right? I hope I worded that right. But you know what I mean,
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, then it's not a fucking vaccine. Did the COVID shot save lives? Yeah, I'm sure it saved some lives. Maybe
I'm sure
it did.
I don't think it did.
I'm sure it did, but I think that.
Are you sure though?
I mean, I'm sure I'm not a scientist, but in my overall opinion, living through the COVID years, is 99% of us could have done absolutely nothing. And, I have people like my uncle who lost his taste and got fucked up from the vaccine. I know more people that got vaccine, healthy people that got vaccine injured. Like, healthy people weren't dying from COVID. That's just a fact.
Dude,
It wasn't happening.
I worked with a guy. Now, granted, he was old and unhealthy. He had lung cancer. And when COVID happened, he actually went home and didn't come to work because he didn't want to risk getting it, right?
Yeah.
But he ended up getting the vaccine. It gave him a seizure so bad that it cracked his spine.
Jesus.
And he lost his license for 6 months until he could prove that he didn't have another seizure. And he had to go through all this fucking bullshit. And the first thing he said to us at work was, I've never had a seizure before. He was in his 60s.
Yeah.
I've never had a seizure before in my life. And now this one time I get one.
Yeah.
And he was bitching because his wife had to drive him to work every day and shit,
Yeah, that's. I mean, I hear countless stories like that. I mean, people, I know people, but here's the thing, and I hope I still remember these statistics. The average age of death from COVID was 82, which is well above the life expectancy in the United States, I believe. The average pre-existing condition that someone had was like 7. So they had like 7 pre-existing conditions on top of being 82. Like just those 2 things right there. That was the average person dying of COVID. The average person dying of COVID wasn't me or you. It wasn't 2 young guys.
Exactly.
You know, and then I'm a young, healthy guy. They make me get the COVID shot because the Biden administration tried to fucking force everybody in the country to do it, or they were going to lose their fucking life, their life.
I never got it.
And their family.
I'm so happy I never got it.
And then I have a fucking seizure and I die. You know, it's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm glad I never got it. That's all I can say.
I'm glad I never got it either. I mean, you know, and you know, the COVID tests, a lot of these tests, these COVID tests would test positive if you had the flu. So even the tests weren't positive.
Yeah.
I mean, I allegedly had COVID, and if I did have COVID, I mean, it really just felt like I drank like 2 beers on an empty stomach and went to sleep, and you kind of woke up like kind of like
A little hungover.
fuzzy in the brain, you know? And I just felt like that for like maybe like 4 or 5 days. You know, I did try and milk it for all it's worth. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I'm so sick. I can't work.
There's a guy I work with who got COVID this year, and I just don't believe him.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, dude, there's no such thing as COVID. He's like, you trying to tell me? I'm like, you did not have COVID in 2025. I don't care what you say. Like, I don't care what test you took that told you have it. That test is a lie. You don't have it. You know?
Yeah.
But all right, moving on. Next we got good old Bernie Sanders.
Oh, great.
Gonna tell us about how everyone's corrupt, but not him.
Still alive, this guy.
Yeah.
Nice. Great.
Still, you know, decided to go with his hairstyle.
Yeah.
And Trump, who I don't usually agree with, called COVID vaccines, quote, one of the greatest miracles in the history of modern day medicine that saved tens of millions of lives worldwide. Scientific community agrees with Trump. Lancet study found that it prevented almost 20 million deaths during their first year of use. Secretary Kennedy, are President Trump and the medical community right? Or do you still believe that the COVID vaccine was, quote, the deadliest vaccine ever made?
No, first of all, I didn't say that. I said that in terms of affairs reports a while ago. I said today, I think that President Trump should get the Nobel Prize.
So who's right? Is Trump and the medical community right, or are you right?
President Trump did an extraordinary piece of leadership.
Is he right or wrong? Did COVID save millions of lives?
As I said, he got Americans back to work. At that time, that particular vaccine, which perfectly matched the virus that was circulating then, and I have no idea how many lives it saved, but it saved quite a few.
You know, what I find a little bit weird in this discussion,
Not his haircut, that's for sure.
hearing it over and over again this morning, Mr. Chairman, is we've got the entire medical community on one side. You got the AMA representing hundreds of...
The AMA, who, by the way, thinks that our tax dollars should go to transing kids, just for the record.
thousands of doctors, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Public Health Association. All of these organizations are telling us that COVID vaccine and vaccines in general are safe and effective. You are casting doubt on that. Who are the organizations that are agreeing with you?
So for the record, Bernie Sanders, who, you know, these organizations that he claims are on his side are all pro-trans kids.
Yeah.
Just for the record. You can look it all up for yourself.
Like, Bernie's arguing under the framework that there's a vehement disagreement as to what RFK believes. And it doesn't seem like there is at all. So it's like, what are you even fucking talking about?
Yeah.
You know, didn't RFK just kind of agree?
that it saved lives. And he said that first vaccine at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, what's your framework right now? I mean, and just real quick, RFK looks like he's having a seizure when he talks.
Well, the poor guy suffered from vaccine. He got like damage from taking a vaccine.
Got some Agent Orange.
He took something, right? He took some vaccine and he got damage from it.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah. Wow. He got vaccine injury.
Oh, no wonder he's fucking on this grind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And casting aspersions on vaccines.
The primary advisors are Marty McCary, Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Oz, Vinay Prasad.
So you got a few doctors who agree with you, and I'm giving you the
Not
name.
a few doctors.
So Bernie goes, who do you go to decide? He names him. He goes, so you got a few. Like, dude.
What you're talking about is there's a big difference, Senator, between established science and the scientific establishment, which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical
Oh, hold on. So you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have
And also as pro-trans kids.
been co-opted, and that they should not trust their doctors.
And I'm
the
telling
American
you,
Academy of Pediatrics, and by the way, just for the record, every single Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food.
Everybody but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you will agree with me on that. Okay, you were already president, you got a billionaire behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got $3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry. Democrats as well. Everybody is corrupt, but you? Is that what we're looking at? I don't think so. And I think
Gaslighting 101. He's trying to make it like everyone's corrupt but him.
Yeah.
Is he not?
I mean, he receives money from the fucking pharmaceutical companies.
I know. I was looking into this, and like, you can't ask the question like, how much money does Bernie Sanders receive from from Big Pharma? Because it's not like Bernie Sanders gets a check that says company Big Pharma.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders receives a check from a company fucking called Smithstone LLC. And Smithstone LLC is owned by a company that's owned by a company that's owned by a company that's owned by Big Pharma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he can sit and go, I don't receive money from Big Pharma. Yeah, you don't get a check that says Big Pharma on it, but you do receive that money.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The issue is every time anyone
Are you saying the pharmaceutical industry was supporting my presidential campaign? I don't think so.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the pharmaceutical industry is a greedy institution which is charging us the highest prices in the world. They are pervasive. But to suggest that every institution, the AMA, the pediatrics people, is corrupt because they disagree with you is an insult to the American people.
Listen, people disagree with me all the time. I have arguments in my agency, heated arguments every day with Jay Bhattacharya, with Marty McCary, with Dr. Oz.
You have given the names of a few people. I have given you the names of organizations representing hundreds of thousands of doctors and scientists. I yield, Mr. President.
Senator Tillis.
Senator White.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Bernie Sanders, he's such a dildo.
He is. He fucking is. I mean, I don't know. He's just such a fucking hypocrite. He should have retired a while ago.
Dude, in 2016, I was Bernie Sanders all day.
Hey, me too, man. I voted for him in the primaries.
Yeah.
I mean, and then when he got fucked over.
Twice. He got kneecapped 2 elections in a row.
I know.
And didn't do a thing about it. That's the thing. I think that's why he despises RFKJ so much, is because RFKJ did what he should have done. He got kneecapped by the Democrats. He went, you know what? Fuck this. I'm endorsing Trump. I'm endorsing the side that wants to work with me.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders should have did that too.
Yeah, he should have. That honestly would have been a good role for Bernie to do that. Yeah, you're the healthcare guy. Be in charge of health and human services, motherfucker. You know, come on now. People will take you a little bit more seriously, probably.
Next up, we got Ron Wyden. Let's see. Bernie Sanders, I didn't give a description to, just because we all know Bernie Sanders. But this is a Democrat, Ron Wyden, who all they're doing is like they're yelling at RFKJ like how those German people yelled at the people at the Nuremberg trials.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's really wild. Like, they're all pissed that Big Pharma's not making money.
I mean, I've made it clear, I think that Secretary Kennedy is dead set on making it harder for children to get vaccines and that kids are going to die because of.
And this too is outrageous that they took COVID off the vaccine list for children that they have to get. There's a big outrage amongst Democrats with that.
This guy looks like he just came out of a fucking horror movie.
He looks like fucking like Poltergeist. That villain,
like
Poltergeist.
He's like fucking melting in some fucking Hellraiser movie or something.
Oh, that's too much. All right.
And Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put in the record today an op-ed written by Susan Monarez, who was fired by Mr. Kennedy.
Without objection.
So what we know, and Dr. Monarez, was approved by Republicans. She wrote an op-ed today in the Wall Street Journal, which I've just put in the record, and I quote her. She said, "I was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel newly filled with people who have publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric." So this is not some liberal philosopher or something. This is the CDC director who tells the Wall Street Journal, which is not exactly interested in progressive, theories and the like, that she was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel filled with people who've publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric. So my first question, Mr. Secretary, is, did you in fact do what Director Monarez said you did, which is tell her to just go along with vaccine recommendations, even if she didn't think such recommendations aligned with scientific evidence?
No, I did not.
That's a yes or no. So you have an opportunity
It's a yes or no, and he said no.
to call her a
Like, that's so funny. That guy was not expecting him to answer no that fast.
recommendations aligned with scientific evidence.
No, I did not.
That's a yes or no. So you have
See, he responded as if he was going to give him a long-winded answer. That's funny.
an opportunity to call her a liar if you say that you didn't do it, but I'd like to see you respond to this.
No, I did not say that to her.
So twice.
And I never had a private meeting with her. So there are witnesses to every meeting that we have, and all of those witnesses will say, I never said that.
So she's lying today to the American people in the Wall Street Journal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's
Yo, he was not expecting to say that.
Fumbled.
talk now about what's coming up, because I've made it clear what I've thought about the 203, days with my colleague, Senator Also Brooks.
And this guy, too, for the record, makes something like $1.2 million a year off of Big Pharma.
Really?
2 weeks.
Yes.
CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practice.
Yeah, he gave RFKJ a heated exchange during his when he was getting nominated for the role. You know how they have to go in front of Congress?
Yeah.
Like, he was giving him shit too, and RFKJ pointed it out then. He's like, you make something like 1-point-something million a year. Like, what are you talking about?
Will meet to make decisions about critical vaccines that protect us against hepatitis B, measles, and more. The committee's got a profound impact on vaccine access, but these aren't ordinary meetings. You've stacked the deck to ensure the panel bends to your views. In June, you fired all 17 committee members who are respected scientists and doctors. You replaced them with non-experts, vaccine skeptics, and conspiracy theorists. As a result, this critical advisory panel has lost scientific credibility after years.
Yo, real fast. What did this woman do right here in the background? This lady right here over to the left.
For respected scientists and
The
doctors.
forehead.
You replace them with non-experts, vaccine
Watch.
skeptics, and conspiracy theorists. As a
He's like,
result,
yeah,
this critical
right? What was that all about?
advisory panel has lost scientific credibility. After years, colleagues, we spend so much time not looking at this as Democrats and Republicans, but as good science and scientific, credibility. And now the American Academy of Pediatrics has warned that the committee is being politicized at the expense
The American Pediatrics is pro-training its kids, just for the record.
of children's health. American Academy of Pediatrics, you think they're lying too?
I think the American Academy of Pediatrics is gravely conflicted. They get, for their biggest contributors are the 4 largest vaccine makers. They run a journal, Pediatrics, which they make a lot of money on, that is completely dependent on pharmaceutical companies. So I wouldn't put a big stake in what they say that benefits pharmaceutical interests. Senator, I didn't politicize ASAP. I depoliticized it. The Congress has been investigating ASAP.
All over the country, Mr. Secretary, scientists and doctors are saying otherwise. They're all wrong too. They're all lying, according to you.
The scientists and doctors are supporting me all over the country. There is division on opinion.
I don't get letters from thousands of people who are not political saying that this.
Yo, show fucking, if you get thousands, show 50 of those letters.
I was just going to say, you're fucking lying.
Like, that's like what? Like these big duffel bags, these big brown duffel bags of fucking mails coming into his office?
Yeah, and you're reading them? You fucking asshole.
Set of changes is going to damage American healthcare, and particularly these healthcare agencies, for decades to come. I don't get any letters from people saying, hey, this is going to make a big difference forever.
Yeah, maybe you're listening to a selective group of people.
You get me.
Yeah, and I will.
Fine.
I will tell you what, Senator. I will put my mailbag against your mailbag any day of the week.
30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dangerous respiratory viruses like RSV are on the agenda for the next advisory meeting. Countless parents have been awakened in the dead of night by a wheezing kid gasping for air, forced to rush their little one to the ER. There's no worse heart-wrenching fear. The RSV vaccine offers these kids protection against the worst effects of the virus. But now it looks like you're on a crusade to make infants and babies more vulnerable to the terrible illness. That's what we're doing with the COVID change.
This guy's reading off a fucking paper.
Yeah, and notice how he says now you're making infants and babies, like, now you're giving them danger by taking COVID vax off the list. That's what he just said right there.
Infants and babies more vulnerable to the.
You're making infants and babies more vulnerable for taking COVID off the vaccine list.
Terrible.
He doesn't even believe what he's saying.
That's what we're doing with the
Unreal.
COVID changes.
And please make your answer brief, Mr. Secretary.
I've said that
Position is indefensible. I think it's possible.
Congress has been investigating that committee for 23 years because it is pervaded with conflicts of interest. What we did is we got rid of the conflicts of interest and we depoliticized it and put great scientists on it from a very diverse group.
Let me close with
very pro-vaccine.
Let me close with this, because like Senator Crapo, I'm a few seconds over. I don't think, Mr. Secretary, this is about you and me.
Shill.
This is about kids being pushed in harm's way by reckless and repeated decisions to get scientists and doctors out of the way and allow conspiracy theories to dictate this country.
Yeah, kids are getting pushed into harm's way by taking the COVID vax off the mandatory vaccine list for children.
Yo, fucking, this is how you can tell that this guy is just a fucking empty suit who's getting paid, is because he's reading off a piece of paper. If you believe what you say, It comes naturally.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe he doesn't want to stumble.
And you are putting babies at risk, and families are terrified, and you don't believe any of that. You're a fucking liar. I don't know. That's just what I take away from it. Body language,
No, I get it. What did I just do? Boom.
Health policy. I don't see any evidence that you have any regrets about anything you've done or plans to change it. And my last comment is, I hope that you will tell the American people how many preventable child deaths are an acceptable sacrifice for enacting an agenda that I think is fundamentally cruel and defies common sense. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah. Yeah. My last comment that someone else typed up for me.
Yeah, he thinks taking the COVID vaccine off the infant vaccine list is a dangerous agenda. Because that's all he's talking about right there is removing the COVID vaccine from the mandatory vaccine list for infants and children.
Yeah.
That's like unreal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fucking, yeah.
Do I got a reply? Or Senator, you've sat in that chair for how long? 20, 25 years, while the chronic disease in our children went up to 76%. And you said nothing. You never asked the question why it's happening. Why is this happening? Today, for the first time in 20 years, we learned that infant mortality has increased in our country. It's not because I came in here. It's because of what happened during the Biden administration that we're going to end.
I'm going to let Senator Wyden respond briefly to that, and then we're not going to go over like we just did.
Defend this committee on a bipartisan basis. Colleagues, my cabinet secretary says that we have no interest in chronic care. Mr. Secretary,
Mr. Chairman, could we have regular order, please?
We are in the process of turning around the Medicare program with the chronic care bill that Chairman Hatch, when he was chairman, and this committee put together on a bipartisan basis.
All right.
But he makes a great point. Friggin', this clown has been in the Senate for 20 years. What the fuck has he done?
Yeah.
Over the last 20 years, this country has gotten sicker and fatter. So, what the fuck has he done?
Yeah.
What strides has he made? Give me a break. And that's just the hypocrisy of these Democrats. All right, next we got, this one is, boom. Bennett explodes on RFKJ after his HHS secretary ties to question senators about vaccines. So this is all that everyone's pissed, like I said, that the COVID vaccine was taken off the mandatory vaccine list for children. It's wild how everyone really wanted kids to get the COVID vax.
That's fucking crazy.
Mr. Secretary, in June, you fired every member. Mr. Secretary,
First of all, I hate this guy, this fucking deputy dog motherfucker.
are you, Mr. Secretary?
Fucking droopy over here.
Yeah.
I can't stand this guy.
May I have my time back, Mr. Chairman? Thank you. Mr. Secretary, thank you for your attention. In June, you fired every member of the well-qualified panel that was charged with recommending vaccines to the CDC. No one in your job has ever fired every committee member all at once. That month, you told the American people that you were, quote, going to bring great people onto the ACIP panel, not anti-vaxxers.
Shut up, faggot. Sorry. Sorry. Didn't mean to say that word.
Put on the panel, Dr. Robert Malone, claimed that the commonly used mRNA vaccine, quote, causes a form of AIDS and can damage children's, quote, brains, their heart.
And it damaged children's, quote, brains. Come on.
Their immune system and their ability to have children in the future. Yes or no, Mr. Kennedy?
And Dr. Malone is one of the inventors.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Were you aware that he had that view when you appointed him to this panel?
Dr. Malone is one of the inventors. As I said, Dr. Malone is one of the inventors of the mRNA vaccine. So he knows a lot more about it than I do.
Mr. Chairman, that statement is not true that Dr. Malone made, just as it wasn't true when you wrote that, quote, African AIDS is entirely different from Western AIDS. Are you aware that another one of these new members?
African AIDS is different from Western AIDS.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've never.
African AIDS has to do with like, they're not. What's the fucking word? What is it? Oh my God, I'm so stoned. African AIDS. It's about like malnutrition. Is that the word?
Malnutrition.
Malnutrition. Yes. African AIDS. When you get like these African kids that are getting AIDS, it's because of malnutrition.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Rogan a long time ago had a doctor on his podcast that was saying that how it's about malnutrition in Africa. It's not like it's not like the AIDS virus that we have here.
I see.
Dr. Levy wrote that, quote, evidence is mounting and indisputable that mRNA vaccines cause serious harm, including death, especially among young people. Yes or no? Are you aware that he said that?
I wasn't aware he said it, but I think I agree with it.
You agree with it? It's not true. It wasn't true when he said it. It is not true when you said it. Secretary, Secretary.
Until this COVID vaccine came around, kids weren't having heart attacks.
Yeah.
Now they are.
This dude might be the most annoying fucking person to listen to.
Oh, I know. I can't stand this.
Like, it's more annoying than listening to RFK trying to fucking spit up his fucking words in the back of his throat.
Don't you dare. The poor guy. He's fighting for our country.
You know, this fucking guy.
Kenny, later this month, your new
He's I'm pretty sure he's from Colorado.
Panel will meet to consider changing vaccine recommendations for American children. In addition to the COVID-19 vaccines, they are set to review recommendations for the hepatitis B vaccine, for measles, for mumps, for rubella and varicella vaccine, and the RSV vaccine. These are common back-to-school vaccinations for children all over the industrialized
Oh, man, he's ruining the back-to-school vaccines.
world. If you change that, you owe parents in Colorado and across the country the benefit of some transparency, I think. If your panel recommends changing the vaccine schedule for children, do you anticipate that fewer children will receive these common vaccinations, yes or no?
What I would say, Senator.
The obvious answer is yes. Should parents
Didn't even let him answer.
and schools of Colorado be prepared for more measles outbreaks as a result of that, Mr. Secretary?
Senator,
How about more mumps outbreaks?
I do not anticipate a change in the MMR vaccine. AZIP is an independent panel. So,
well, it's a panel you just put those folks on. Far from what you said, they're people with ideas that are completely outside the mainstream.
You mean out of the pharmaceutical paradigm?
Let me just say, Mr. Secretary, all these vaccines that we're talking about today are free and accessible to parents today in America who have the freedom to be able to make that choice for their children. Will that be true after your handpicked panel makes their judgments about these vaccines?
I think that parents should be free to...
I know you said that before. I do too.
Let the guy fucking answer. Jesus.
I know.
So will they be just as free after these?
I assume they will be.
I will hold you to that, Secretary Kennedy.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Because this is not a podcast. It is the American people's health that's on the line.
Technically, this is a podcast right now.
This is the last thing, by the way, our parents need when their kids are going back to school.
No, the last thing they need is to be getting shut up by a trans kid. That's the last thing they fucking need.
To have the kind of confusion and expense and scarcity that you're creating as a result of your ideology. I think it's critical for you to share the evidence that this panel will rely on. Will you give the American people 6 months or 6 weeks in advance the record that they're going to rely on to make these decisions? Will you make it transparent for the American people?
All the evidence is transparent.
Will
All
you
the
make
evidence-
it in advance transparent for the American people so they can comment on it?
All the evidence is transparent for the first time in history, and you were never there complaining when the pharmaceutical companies were picking those people and then running their products through with no safety
You
testing.
you can characterize it any way you want. I quoted them today. What I said was accurate. What you said were lies. You
Are you
described
saying,
people
Senator,
moving the Titanic.
Are you
chairs on
saying
the
that the
Titanic
mRNA
with-
vaccine has never been associated with myocarditis or pericarditis in
I am
teenagers?
saying, I am simply.
Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I am simply trying to say that the people that you have put on that panel after firing the entire.
You're evading the question.
No, I'm asking the questions here.
You're
Mr.
evading
Kennedy.
that question.
I'm asking the questions.
I
Mr.
asked you a
Kennedy.
question.
I'm asking the questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America
shut up.
who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of that agency.
Yeah.
I can suck a dick. It's this whole vaccine schedule, like the vaccines kids are going to be taking before schools, what's mandatory, what's not mandatory, yada, yada, yada. It's different in every country. There's no exact science to what kids should get, what kids shouldn't get. I'm sure some vaccines countries are more in accordance or more in agreement on. Take the measles, take the one tuberculosis, I'm sure most countries agree on that, but there are also vaccines in other countries that kids don't take or people don't take, and there's vaccines that people do take. I mean, it's different, so.
Well, I mean, if you remember, like, when I went to school as a kid in kindergarten, I had to get a booster shot. And that's all I ever needed, ever.
Yeah.
There was never like, oh, before you go back to school this season, you got to get your shots. Like, and now what? That's a thing?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Like, did that happen to you? Was that your generation? We all started to get shots every year? Or
Oh.
like even that guy was saying, like, oh, the back to school vaccines. Like, the back to school vaccines? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, because I wouldn't doubt it if some schools are still trying to make it mandatory to get the COVID vaccine to come to school.
That's
I wouldn't doubt that for a second.
That's unreal.
I mean, shit, my niece and nephew, they were, they were gonna I don't know if they had the opportunity to audition for commercials that were looking for twins, and they're like, "Yo, well, your kids have to be vaccinated before they do this," and they're like, "Nope, not doing it, not fucking doing it," So
My dog groomer, the dog grooming place I used to take my dog to, wanted my dog to be updated on vaccines,
yeah.
and I just said I'm not doing that.
Well, your dog should be updated on vaccines, not for nothing.
Vaccines from what?
I don't know, like kennel cough and fucking shit.
Kennel cough?
Kennel cough, yeah.
What's that?
I don't know. That's what
God.
I believe the science, Paul.
Yeah, Luca believes the science community.
Believe the science.
All right, I saved the best for last. Next is good old Elizabeth Warren
Oh God,
and her fiery Native American nonsense.
this fucking bitch.
Consideration before the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Hey, say what you want, and we've talked about this before, but when she was younger, she was dope.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say she looks terrible. She looks like she's on death's doorstep right now.
The short hair doesn't help, that's for sure.
Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, if vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not.
Look at Bernie Sanders just sitting here.
Yeah.
going
Try
to
not to
take
throw
them
up.
away.
It's like he doesn't even realize he's on camera.
No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts services. Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, if vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. Then last week, you announced that the COVID-19 vaccine is no longer approved for healthy people under the age of 65. In announcing the change,
Which is really what it should be, right?
Yeah, it should. Yeah, no, that sounds fucking reasonable to me.
you said the vaccine will be available for anyone who wants it. Now, obviously, both things cannot be true at the same moment. So let's clear this up right now, Secretary Kennedy. Will you tell America that all adults and all children over 6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today?
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it. Senator.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody.
Why is that so hard to believe that they recommend that it's for people that are 65 years or older, but it's available for anybody who wants it?
Yeah.
Like, is that really that hard to believe? That can't, we can't have two of those things at the same time?
Yeah, like, why is that
Warren?
crazy?
Yeah.
Is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover.
That isn't true, I know.
It's just not recommended. If you're healthy and COVID's not going to kill you, then you don't have to get the fucking vaccine. It's not recommended. You're not going to die.
Yeah, it's not that hard to understand.
Idiot, retard.
But, you know, good old Elizabeth Warren.
The $200 or so cost. As Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like
and
this.
That is, you promised that you would not.
Why did she do that? Why did she make that money little?
I know, I saw that. That was weird.
Honoring
Even he said too, you're going like this.
your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed
When you're looking to get confirmed, she made the money symbol.
in this job.
You're going like
And that
this.
is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
$200.
Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for
The
free.
question is everyone who wants it. That was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said.
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying
Yeah.
Roasted.
that you were lying?
It's like the Grinch who stole Christmas.
Yeah.
No, she not.
Her whole
When you
demeanor.
said that, because you are the one who said you would not take them away. Now, Senator.
I'm not taking them away from anybody.
Secretary, you
want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
Is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not
So
taking them away.
obviously-
Everybody can get access to them.
No, they
Fucking
can't.
idiot.
She just doesn't want to, she doesn't want to understand.
She's not good at this. Her framework is off. The guy said he's not recommending them, but they're available to everybody. And she's alleging that they're not available to everybody because he's not recommending them. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I know.
walk into a pharmacy the way they could last month and get access?
It
to a
depends on the
vaccine?
state. It depends on the states.
Depends. A year ago.
But they can still get it. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it, Senator.
So look, let's move on. You clearly are taking away vaccines. I've seen the.
Yeah, you haven't demonstrated that at all, actually.
Let's move on because you're clearly taking them away after everything
let's
you
move
just
on
said
because
right
I look
there.
like a fucking retard.
List for what's coming up next, and that is the agenda for the next CDC vaccine panel. And first up is ratifying your COVID actions. Second is hepatitis B is on the agenda. So should Americans expect you to take away hepatitis vaccine access as well, even though you promised not to?
As I said, I'm not taking vaccines away from anybody.
Okay, same answer, right? You're just going to deny that when people can't get access, that you're not taking it away. Then let me ask you, is that the same game you're going to play with me?
You want me to recommend every product in the world so that without any clinical trial data?
Through on your promises.
Yeah, my promise was to give.
A month ago, we could get COVID vaccines by just walking.
You can still get COVID vaccines, Senator.
You are taking that away.
No, you are
So
still.
let me
You can
ask
still
you
get the
one more
COVID vaccines, and
question,
Medicare will still
Secretary
pay for them, and Medicaid will still
Tell the
pay.
head of the CDC that if she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign.
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, "Are you a trustworthy person?" And she said no. So if you had an employee who told you they weren't trustworthy, would you ask them to resign, Senator?
So I'm sorry, but this is not what she has said publicly. She has.
Yeah, I mean, what a surprise. That's not what she said publicly.
Well, I'm not surprised about that.
So you're saying she's lying?
Yes. Every conversation I
don't think she was ready for that.
had with her, there
And
were
let me get
witnesses.
this straight. This is the same person that less than a month earlier, you stood next to her and described her as unimpeachable. And you had full confidence in her, and that you had full confidence in her scientific credentials. And in a month, she became a liar?
Yeah, you should ask her what changed. And by the way, a month ago, you were voting against her. Oh, because you
Oh, shit.
thought she was either incompetent, ineligible, or unsuited to the task.
I voted against her because I was afraid she was going to bend the knee to you and Donald Trump. And it looks like she didn't bend the knee, so you fired her. Look, you are
Yo, this fucking librarian.
putting America's babies' health at risk, America's seniors' health at risk, all Americans' health at risk, and you should resign.
Senator Sanders.
Did you get
Every American baby, their health is at risk because he doesn't recommend the COVID vaccine.
Yeah. He just doesn't recommend it. It's like, that's because they don't fucking need it.
Meanwhile, these retard parents can still go give their child the COVID vaccine.
Yeah. And give them myocarditis and a fucking seizure.
All right, well, finishing up on RFKJ, I've got this Fox News clip here. This is Mark Wayne Mullen defending RFKJ.
He's concerned about the public's health because of what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has done with the health agencies. You share his concern.
Well, I think he's concerned about the American people's health as a whole. I mean, if you go back when CDC was stood up, which was 1946, July 1st, 1946, which would have been 79 years ago, there was only 3% of the country that had chronic illness. Today, we're over 76%. Senator Brass.
So, over 3%, and now we're at 76%.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
And like RFKJ pointed out to that one dildo, like, you've been doing this for 20 years. Like, what have you been accomplishing?
Yeah.
If you're so fucking concerned.
So as a doctor, he's questioning science, which used to, it was okay to question science. Now you can't. to even question Bobby Kennedy and say, hey, are we sure we're moving in the right direction? There's nothing wrong with asking questions. It's when you start accusing him of being unethical, or you're starting accusing him of sabotage, or you start accusing him of being an anti-vaxxer or something like that. But to question science, all Senator Barrasso was doing was questioning science, and he's a doctor and he should do
You're
that.
saying that Barrasso there was questioning science? I mean, I heard
Questioning
him.
the statistics as a whole. I mean, why are we the sickest nation in the world? Casey, we should be asking that question. What is wrong with saying, okay, if 1950 we were at 3% chronic illness, today we're at 76. In 1950 we were one of the healthiest nations. Today we're the sickest nation in the world. Where has CDC succeeded? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. What Bobby is doing, or Secretary Kennedy is doing, is he's going in there and he's questioning things, saying, hey, we need to look at every aspect. There isn't anything that should be unlooked at. Just because it's science and we think it's proven science, science is always changing.
So I want to pull apart. I take your point about chronic diseases, and it's very clear that there are a lot of Americans in the world that are concerned about things like food dyes and pesticides and all the things.
Let's talk about autism. I mean, autism was running rampant.
So I want to pull all of the chronic stuff apart from trust in vaccines, because if the kids at my kid's school don't get vaccinated for the measles, the chances that my kid is going to get measles go up, right? So that affects all of us. And it was very clear today that we saw Secretary Kennedy questioning these vaccines. That was the heart of what Barrasso was saying, was the heart of what other Republicans have been focused on. Do you think Secretary Kennedy's in the right place on vaccines?
I absolutely do. By questioning vaccines without question. I'm a father of 6. All my kids are vaccinated. But it did question it. When you start looking at statistics, what was it? 1 in 10,000 kids when we first started tracking autism it was diagnosed with as autistic. Today, it's 1 in 10,
but
and
why
some
are
numbers
you
are less than
that
that.
to vaccines?
I'm not. I'm saying, why wouldn't we look at it? What's changed? What we need to do is look at.
We have looked at it,
No.
and there has been
So we shouldn't look at it again.
And there have not. The study showed there was no connection between the MMR vaccine and autism. There was a retracted study.
Well, there's different ingredients than just 1 or 2 things inside vaccinations. There's several things that go into every vaccine, and look at how many shots we were giving our kids. When my first son was born 21 years ago versus to what my 14-year-old daughter has to get now for school is greatly different. And that was just a short period of time. We're increasing the number of vaccines we're giving to the kids, and we're increasing chronic illness. We're increasing autism.
But why
wouldn't
how
we just
do you
question
know
it?
that that's connected?
We don't, but why wouldn't we look into it?
Well, why would?
So what's wrong, Casey? What's wrong with questioning it? Why should we question it? As a parent, I know you're a parent, I'm a parent. Why wouldn't we question it? What is wrong with Bobby questioning what the CDC is doing? Because it's not working right now.
Well, he's in charge, and he controls access for many Americans, because what the CDC says and does with its vaccine schedule affects insurance. It already has taken away choice for people who want to get the COVID vaccine at their local CVS in over a dozen states.
It hasn't taken away choice.
Yeah. The love of
How
God.
is that giving people more choices and allowing them to question more effectively?
If anybody wants a
themselves?
COVID vaccine, they can go get it. They may not be able to get it at every pharmacy they walk into, but you know and I know they can get it. It's offered in every state. It's offered in every city. It may not be offered in every town, like my town of Westville. I'm sure it's not offered in that town because we don't have a hospital. We don't have a national pharmacy. We have a hometown drugstore. So, but it's available, and it's relatively available. So for people to say that it's not available at CVS anymore, that has nothing to do with
But the issue being that the CDC resignations came because
I've been using BetterHelp since.
Oh, well, we don't have to watch that whole thing. But yeah, I just think this is another thing that's really making Democrats look dumb. To add on to the illegal immigration, to add on to trans kids, to add on to fucking pro-Palestine. Now all of a sudden, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. trying to make kids healthier is a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, something's making everybody autistic. Something is driving up chronic disease. And we should, whatever it is, we should figure it out. They want to start at vaccines and look into that again. Look into that again. What's the fucking problem?
Yeah, what's the problem?
If it's not that, they'll move on to something else.
Why does it have to be like, we looked at this once 20 years ago and the case is closed?
Yeah.
Like, we can't go and look at this again? Like, what the hell is the problem here?
Yeah, I mean, look at when Tom Cruise went on that little fucking rant about what was it, like the psychology industry and like drugging people and stuff.
Yeah, drugs and mental health, yeah.
Ruined his career. He was a crazy guy.
He was
and
absolutely right, though. He was right.
Now he's right.
Yeah.
So you have a chemical imbalance. How the fuck do you know I have a chemical imbalance based off of you just talking to me? What the fuck does that even mean? What did you?
Yeah.
You'd have to put a needle in my head and get my fucking brain juice and then put it in a petri dish and be like, "Yep, I see that you have more of this chemical than the other chemicals."
Mm-hmm.
But because I kind of flipped out because someone cut me off in traffic, I got a fucking chemical imbalance now, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, even my mother, I was talking to her during the week, and she's taking some kind of meds for something, and the doctors called her recommending the upper dose every month, and she said no.
Wow. Yeah.
I was like, your doctors called you recommending to up the dose? And she was like, yeah. When she didn't say it like she thought it was weird. She was just telling me in conversation.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't find that weird? That there's nothing wrong with you as far as like things are going bad? Oh shit, maybe we should up your dose. They just called it and recommended it one day.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't been meeting my quota from the pharmacy companies. You want to take 2 instead of 1?
Yeah. Why don't you start taking 2 every hour on the hour instead of 1?
Yeah.
Then I'll allow that refill to start earlier than before. Like,
yeah.
It's fucked up, man. It's a fucked up industry.
It is.
And I'm just glad I'm not one of those people. I'm just glad I'm one of the people that don't believe anything. I don't trust any doctors. I don't believe when doctors tell me shit. I've had just so many experiences in my own life talking to doctors where they were full of shit.
Yeah.
They were absolutely full of shit. I actually just talked about it today with one of the guys at jiu-jitsu this morning. We're back when, like, we're talking like 10 years ago. I had a doctor tell me that I should never train in jiu-jitsu because I tweaked my neck one time.
Wow,
She was like, you should never do this again. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I got when I was putting up my fence, I got a big wood chip in my fucking chest, right? Went right through my shirt, right in there. Dude, it was in there fucking deep. Ripped it out. It scarred up. And I thought I had a wood chip in there because it was like really hard. And I was trying to like kind of see if I could pick out the wood chips. And so I went to the doctors just to see, like, hey, do I still got wood chips in my chest? Can you check it out? She goes, have you been picking at this to see if there's wood chips in there? I go, well, yeah. And she goes, all right, I'm going to write you a prescription you don't have any wood chips in there, but I'm going to write you a prescription for antibiotics. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, it's not that big. I mean, I was just trying to fucking, because I have picked wood chips out of there when it happened. And I go, what if I don't get the antibiotics? And she was like, you need to get the antibiotics. That's an open wound. And I just looked at her and I go, okay, I will. And if you know me, you know if I look you in the eyes and I say something like that with that tonality,
I'll do it.
you're lucky you're getting the 50% out of me.
Yeah.
You're lucky.